Wednesday, Bank of Canada announcement. What's going to happen? We already actually know what's going to happen. There's going to be a cut. Rates just keep getting cut at the Bank of Canada. That's the immediate future. That's the future that we all can look forward to. Because let's face it, if you got a mortgage, you got a renewal coming, you would prefer lower rates to higher rates. I know there's a whole bunch of people out there who say, no, we want really high rates so the housing market will crash and I can buy. Okay, I get it. But still, for the humans in Canada, and there's millions and millions of them who have a family in a house with a mortgage, they would prefer lower rates. So that's where we're headed. So what's going to happen on Wednesday? Is it going to be 50 basis points, which is 0.5%? Is it going to be 25 basis points, which is 0.25%? Which is it going to be, Ron? Tell us your prediction. It's not important because it's either going to be 50 or 25. And then if it's 25, it'll be 50 in December. And if it's 50 now, it's probably 25 in December. The facts are the facts. There's 75 basis points of cuts coming at the Bank of Canada this year. Oh, Ron, how can you predict this stuff? You're such a BSer. Well, you want to make a bet? I used to do that online. I used to bet people money on the rates. Nobody actually ever put up their hand and said, yeah, I'll put money in an account with you. No, nobody ever did. But look, that's it. So that's it. So we're going to have either a 50 basis point cut, 0.5%. We're going to have 25. It doesn't matter. Whatever happens, if it's 25, they'll catch it up. If it's 50, it'll still be another 25. 75 basis points by the end of this year. So where does that put us? That puts us at 3.5. We're in shooting distance of 3. I'm thinking the real neutral rate in this country. What's a neutral rate? That's the rate where the Bank of Canada puts up their hand and says, we've stopped. We've reached the point where we believe the economy is in balance and anything further would be too stimulative and we're stopped. So they'll let you know. They'll actually tell you. And that's months and months away. So not months and months. It's like April. It's like May. It's like one of those. Okay. So might be early summer, June-ish, something like that. But it'll stop. But that number, that neutral rate is somewhere between 2.5 and 2.75. Might be 3, but I doubt it very much because we're going to be pretty close to 3 just by the end of this year. So what should we think about at these meetings? Should we carefully listen to Tiff Macklem, the Bank of Canada governor's press conference? Should we check out all the research that he puts out? Should we carefully read through the papers that they develop and issue during the course of the announcement? There's hundreds of pages of data that they put out. They talk about where they formed their opinions. Maybe Carolyn Rogers, the deputy governor, will step up and have some choice words and some things that you might think she thinks you might want to know. Is all that stuff important? Hell no, it's not important. None of what these people say is important. Events are important. That's what's important. Events. So barring a catastrophe in the Middle East where oil supplies are chopped to nothing and there's an incredible spike in energy costs, barring that, barring the invasion of Taiwan, barring like the most serious geopolitical events you can think of, rates keep coming down. And that's based on the deterioration of the Canadian economy and what looks like a clear reduction in inflation in Canada. Bad news is it's the reduction in the inflation rate. It's not like the prices are going down. If you've been to a restaurant lately, you know the prices are not going down. They are not. Okay, been to the grocery store, walked by the meat counter, prices are not going down. Prices are high as hell. But at the end of the day, it's the measurement of increase and the measurement of increase is dropping. People have less money to spend. The economy's tight, getting tighter. Less money put out means, well, less stuff gets bought, more sales to try to generate more business. And what there is there's pressure, there's demand loss, there's reduced demand, and reduced demand creates lower prices and creates an environment where inflation drops. You raise interest rates. This is basic theory of a central bank. Federal Reserve, European Central Bank, Bank of Canada, Bank of Australia, all the rest, Bank of Japan, all the rest. You raise interest rates to break the economy, which breaks the back of inflation, and then you can reduce the rates. So that's the cycle we're going through right now. So that's all there is to think about. There is, whether it's a 50 or a 25, quit reading the tea leaves, quit listening to the bullshit from the analysts. It's interesting, but it's not germane. It's not really what's going to happen. What's going to happen is based on events. And barring that geopolitical event, there are no definitive reasons to think the Canadian economy is going to improve. I know of none. No one's ever come up to me and said, yeah, things are going to take right off. No, they're not. Even the interest rates themselves, which may eventually be positive for the construction industry or be positive for the real estate industry, they take 18 months to 2 years to crush you when they go up. They take 18 months to 2 years to help you when they come down. This is reality. All right, so no economic recovery on the horizon. Probably continued deterioration means the rates just eventually get to the neutral rate. 2.5, 2.75, late spring, early summer. That's the destiny of all this. And now the comments can begin, and you could all tell me I'm wrong. Thanks.